saxophones are in unison. A lot of times Ben will be in unison with them, and other times he gives them like an extra note, a note that's not in the harmony. So this is a very dissonant part, but at the same time, it's a very interesting and good melody for Ben, which is something about Ellington's music is, unlike most jazz arrangers, everybody gets a good melody. You know, they fill out the harmonies, but they also have good melody. It's like doing a crossword puzzle. You know, the words make sense going vertically and also going horizontally. In this case, and for great music, it's the same. Everybody should get a part that's a good melody and also makes for good harmony. Okay, so while we analyze this piece, there's several things going on here. At the bottom of the score, there are 4 extra clefs at the bottom: a treble and a bass, a treble and a bass, and they will have the saxophones, reeds on the top 2 staves down there, and the brass on the bottom 2 staves. Can we see a score page? There you go. So if you look, it says reeds and brass at the bottom, and those are in concert. So for those of you that are not good at reading a full score that's transposed, you've got that reduction at the bottom, which is in concert pitch, so it reads like the piano. Yeah, so so Ben Webster's part is going to be, well, you're not going to get to it yet because he doesn't play in the intro. But just to say, you know, Duke added a 5th saxophone. Actually, Ben did play on a recording session in 1935. He has a solo on Truckin', and then in 1936 he came back again, and he has a solo chorus on In a Jam. But it wasn't until 1940 that Duke was felt that it was time for Ben to join the band, and he had matured enough and became an individual voice. That was Ben's dream, was to play with Duke Ellington. There's an interesting interview with Ben after, in the 60s, I guess, late 60s or 1970s, somewhere around there. He moved to Europe. And there's an interview, I forget if it was in Amsterdam or Copenhagen, and there's an apartment. And the interviewer says, "Oh, I see there's your record player behind you, and you got your record collection. What do you listen to?" He says, "I only listen to Duke Ellington." So it was a combination of his love for Ellington's music, and he wanted to sit next to Johnny Hodges so that he could learn to play in that romantic and very melodic style of Hodges, very sensitive. And so when we listened to Ben Webster play, it worked. You know, the original title for Coco was called Kalin, K-A-L-I-N-E. Don't know what it means. There was some talk that Coco may have been part of an opera that Ellington was planning to write in the 30s, but nothing has ever really surfaced that I know of. People keep looking for stuff, but we haven't really found anything along those lines. All right, the form of Coco. It's a blues. There's an 8-bar introduction, and then there's 7 choruses of blues, and then there's the introduction comes back, all 8 bars, and then there's a 4-bar coda. So now the introduction starts 3/8 notes in the drum, in the tom-tom, and then a downbeat on the first full bar. Ba-da-da-da, which I'm sure we all recognize as Beethoven's 5th, the motif from Beethoven. So that's the motif of this piece. That's the main. That's the I would call. Let's call that the motive A, and it's all through the piece. You'll see this. quite a few iterations of that.